a lot of transportation. So the only way to arrive early to our jobs is using Transmilenio. But you cannot use cars. Now you cannot use cars because we have a lot of traffic. Okay, we have many cars, and as a result of that situation, as a result of buying a lot of cars in the city, we cannot transport fast. The only way to arrive early to the work is in a holiday, I suppose, or when you don't have pico y placa. It's the only way to arrive early because we cannot have on ways, on roads.
All right, but if we compare, for example, in comparison, Bogota, when it was the 19th, in comparison with this year, for example, we have better conditions because a lot of cars have out from the circulation just now, thanks to Transmilenio, and it is better just now. I consider there are less cars in comparison with last years.
Why did you say that? What is your research? Why did you say that?
No. I heard when I was when I was a teenager. In that time, I remember so well by news, by the television, the problems of Bogota. I remember so well the blocks on the roads, and I have watched by news only because I had have the opportunity to stay in Bogota only a pair of times. I can give my opinion with experience now.
Okay, guys. So give me a second, Luis. So I'm sorry that we had this problem with the power connection here in Ibagué. So basically, what we are talking about is what I guess you saw before we had the problem, which is public transportation in Bogota is working very well and helping people to get on time to their workplaces. So Julian was on the part of disagreement, and Victor was on the part of agreement. So in this case, what about you? Do you agree or do you disagree?
Well, let's say, according to the news, I've never been in Bogota before, but according to I watched in the news every single day, is that in Bogota, public transportation is a chaos, is a nightmare, in and out constantly. So people, they have to take ages to get from A to B, so it's impossible. Also, violence also is one of the maybe situations that happens because of all the cars and the buses and Transmilenio is crowded all the time. So due to this issue, there been committing some crime in the cars, in the buses, in Transmilenio. So it's really a nightmare. So I agree with Julian's point of view. So I think the best option for you to take maybe is using a bicycle in this case, or I don't know, to get early to work. But it's gonna take us minimum an hour or maybe two. So I totally agree with Julian.
Okay, guys. So on the same way, on the same topic that we are talking about, I'm going to give you an extra ideas. Sorry, in this case, just one. What do you think? Yeah.
Tudor, what is your point of view about public transportation in Bogota? What is your point of view, Tudor?
Oh, man. Well, every time that I go to Bogota, I just take taxis, because for me it's impossible. Transmilenio. So I hate Transmilenio, and I hate public transportation there. Well, my city is a small city, so it's very easy to get from A to B, even if you want to walk. But when you are in Bogota, oh, Lord. I believe that you need to be rich, so you can get a taxi every time that you need to move. But let's say that I don't have money and I need to, as I told you, to get from A to B. Well, I agree with Luis. In my opinion, I would buy a bicycle. That's what I would do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, guys, so we have this new idea, and it is that private cars are the best option for people to get to their workplaces. Okay, and I have an extra idea about that, and is that if you have your car, you are going to feel comfortable, and you don't have problems with the weather. There is no rain, there is no sun, because you are inside your car. So this is about Bogota, no? So in this case, it's a free opinion. What do you think? Okay. So Victor, can you start?
In every part of our country, I suppose, not in a particular part, or yes, or in Bogota only.
Yeah, Bogota, only Bogota.
Bogota. I think no. I don't like the idea, because when you have a private car or private vehicle, for example, you are contributing to the pollution of the city. Bogota has big or high scores of pollution, take into account, for example, in comparison with other cities in our same country, or with other cities in comparison around the world. So that I consider it is not a good idea to have, in my case, for example, my own vehicle to transport in the capital of our country. I prefer, in comparison with your ideas. You said, for example, no, public transport is a complete disaster. I consider no. I have been only two times or three times in the capital, and I have been in the other capital, because in this time, for example, I'm living in a town only. But I have visited Ibague, I have visited Manizales, I have visited the capital of our country. I consider the public transport in the capital is good. I wouldn't buy, for example, I wouldn't buy a car to get to my job.
Okay. Okay, Julian, what's your opinion?
I disagree with Victor. I think that I would prefer to drive a private car. It costs a lot, I know that, but it helps us to arrive early to our jobs. Okay, we have to consider the traffic. We have to consider all people walking on the street. Okay, and if we are in a hurry, the best option to arrive more comfortable and to arrive early to our jobs is better to choose a taxi or a prepaid car.
Okay, and Luis, what do you think?
So that could be true. So that's possible to have your own car, your private car, but if you share it with others to commute to work, that will be fun. So I don't agree, for example, with the option of just you as a driver using your car. It's a good idea to use your car or commuting with others, because the car has 4 seats. If all 4 seats are okay, are full, are used, so that will be nice for me. Also, as I agree to some extent with Julian, is comfortable. You can arrive to work early, so you can listen to music. You feel like $1,000,000. So when it's raining, it doesn't matter. But it's great since you share it with others. For example, in Canada, there is a program that is called car sharing, where some people share a car while commuting to work. I think we should emulate that in Bogota, in other cities in Colombia too, because it's great. It helps to reduce the carbon dioxide footprint in our country, and for Bogota, I think this would be nice.
Okay.
That is a good point of view of Luis, because when we want to contribute with the environment, we must try to, or consider the idea to use the car in community for several persons if we can.
Yeah, that's true, but the reason is that the line is it helps us to get to jobs early, and I think it helps us. Okay. Okay, I know all about the environment. I know about be comfortable, but the main topic is it helps us to arrive early to our jobs, and it happens. And
maybe
totally agree.
In the first point, you said that no, that in Bogota it is a complete disaster. The traffic is a complete disaster, and it's going to be difficult to get to your job by car, because you.
But it is better than public transportation. It's better.
Well, some points. I agree with you.
You're a little bit comfortable. Yeah, you're in your own seat and that's it. But you're going to be in the traffic jam as well as the others.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Well, that's right. Okay, guys. So I have another idea. It's very similar to the last ones. So basically, is this. So one option to save time and money in transportation is working from home. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's good, or you prefer to go and work there in your workplaces?
Repeat the first part of the idea.
Yeah. So nowadays, in these days, one option to save time and money in transportation is working from home. Okay, so you think that's good or you think it's not good? Victor, go ahead.
I don't know. It is a good idea. I think I consider there will be some works that you can develop from your house, but I can imagine works from your house. It could exist, I think, but and it would be a good idea. I think, for example, in the future, we can develop some jobs from our houses. In I have a little experience only because I living in a little town. You can have a job from your house. It is difficult or impossible, I consider. Maybe if you are living in the capital, maybe you are living in Bogota, Ibagué, or in Medellin have ideas or have experience about that part of the debate.
Okay, so Liz, what's your opinion?
I agree on my friend, because that depends on the career or profession you have. Imagine for you being a doctor. Can you imagine working yourself from a computer, having an operation on a person? I think that's impossible. That the person is going to die for sure. Or imagine you being a mechanic. Can you repair a car through the computer? Repair a car online? No, that depends. There are certain careers, for example, for you to be a tutor online, you can do it with no problem. Or, that depends. If you are a manager, you need to give some instructions to your employees, to your staff, but that would be nice. But for sure, it's impossible, for everybody's start working from a computer. And I think some people have to commute from one place to another to do their job. So I let's say agree on to some extent with my partner who said that that depends on the job.
Okay, thank you. Julian.
I agree with you guys. I think it's very important. It depends on the job. Okay. So in my case, I sell this. Let me show you.
Uh,
I sell these stamps. Okay, it's just stamps for education, right?
Okay.
For all subjects, and this is a way I sell them by Mercado Libre, and this is a way to save money and save transportation because I can sell without any transportation. So this is a good way to earn money, and you can use it in order to save time.
Okay, guys. So this is the final question, okay, just to finish tonight. Okay, so let me put it on the chat. Okay, so basically it's this. When we are traveling abroad, let's say to different countries to work, okay, it's because of work. So you need to travel and you need to visit some other countries. It's very important to get fun. So it means to go out at night, to drink a beer, to visit places. So that's a point of view, all right? What do you think about it? Do you think it's good or do you think it's not good? Okay, to mix businesses and pleasure. So, Luis.
I think it's fine. Yeah. For example, it's a good idea and to go in other country, the culture of the country you're visiting, or the environment you are in. Let's say, for example, you're working as an English teacher overseas. In this case, in the U.S., and you are in New York. So New York is a city that has a lot of things to offer. During the day, you're working with your peers, with your colleagues, and at night you can go out, hang out with your let's say with your colleagues, have a drink, go around the city, take pictures, also to send some pictures to your family, buy souvenirs. So I think, yeah, I think it's a good idea to share both, either professionally and for pleasure. And also, the only thing that you have at the end of your life is your great memories. What about if you just think about working and working and working and not enjoying the things that life or the places has to offer you. So for me, that point of view would be a little bit selfish, but I do believe that it's a good idea to do both, either professionally or just for pleasure.
All right. So, Julian.
Well, I think that I would only work. I would only work
Gabo,
because
I don't.
because on vacations you can travel around the world, you can travel abroad. But if you are working, it's necessary to pay attention to the business, okay, to get concentrate about all you're going to do, because you're working for a company.
Yeah,
Time you have.
but business are not 24/7.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. But for example, if you are resting at the hotel, you're planning about what are you going to do the next day. So it's very important to be working all the moment, in my opinion.
Okay, Victor.
All
Let's
right.
finish with you.
No, it depends of the context. If you have time, if your job is not demanding, if you have time, you can control your things. For example, your addictions or something like that. For example, if you can go out to drink only a pair of beers, maximum 3 beers, it is very cool. Maybe to know the cities, the parts of the city near where you are working, for example, it would be interesting because if you go to a part, to any part, for example, and you do not have the opportunity to know, no, it is going to be so ugly, I consider. We can have time. If we have time, depending of the content, if we have time, it is good to go out and know the places around our job.
Okay, guys. So it would be nice to continue arguing here because I have a point of view as well. I agree in some points with you. I don't agree in some others. For example, there are times when you need to travel because you are going to work, and as Victor said, maybe the things you have to do are very demanding, so you don't have the time to go out and drink or maybe walk around the city, because if you do that, you are not going to like focus on the situations that you need to work on. But as Luis mentioned, so if you have the time, oh, sorry, Julian didn't say that, it was just Luis. You can go around and have fun. So it's nice. It's very interesting. Okay, guys. So it's 9 p.m. I need to start with next group. So thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry because of the problems we have with the connection and the encounter, but somehow we did it. So have a good night. Goodbye, guys.
It
All
was,
right.
it was
All right.
fantastic.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you.
See you.